It's locked, all right.
Yes, Jonathan? Spending next summer in France. Absolutely.
Mother.
Why not?
Good evening.
Jonathan! Is it you? Where have you been, my prodigal son?
I'm right here, Mother. I'm finally home.
Yes, for this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and now found. But where is your sister? Where is Mary?
Mary? She is gone, Mother.
I know she's gone. The question is, when will she return as you have? I miss my grandson so much. It's been days since their last visit.
Mother, do you know what's been going on in this area?
Not really. I don't go out much due to the epidemic, and when I do, I tend to get lost.
What do you mean you get lost? I hope you don't go outside alone.
Of course not. When I go out, your father always comes with me, but He leaves me there sometimes, and I have trouble finding the way back.
Have you returned to Whitechapel Cemetery since Mary's funeral?
I never want to go back to that awful place. Wait. I think I went back once. And you were there too. And Mary? No, that can't be true.
It was just a bad dream, Mother.
A nightmare, yes. Mary was so angry. I walked back home alone. If that kind policeman had not called Avery from the station, I don't know what would have happened.
Tell me, Mother, how are you? All alone in this big house with only Avery to take care of you.
I'm sad most of the time. Sad that you have left me here alone. Sad that you don't tell me when you come or go.
I'm so sorry, Mother. It wasn't supposed to be like this. I was coming home. I was home. London, the Thames, and then it happened.
What happened, Johnny?
I lost my way. Somewhere between the boat and the house, my life changed completely.
You should have told me, Johnny. I would have understood. You always were a secretive little boy.
Do you need anything, Mother? Can I help you?
I just want you to stay with me, Jonathan. Your room is ready. I asked Avery to make your bed.
I'll stay as long as I can, I promise. Do you need anything else?
Just one thing. Stop staring at me like that. As much as I love you, it breaks my heart to look at those empty and dead eyes.
Are you working on a new painting?
Not recently. I have trouble focusing on my subject, and my mind quickly drifts. It's the same thing when I try to write poetry.
I recently met a talented painter with an excellent technique. I wish you two could meet. I'm sure you'd like her.
I'd be glad to meet her. What is her name? Is she famous? Is she dead too?
She's not famous, and her name is of no importance. And yes, she is also dead.
The important thing is, I hope you two get along. If she ever fancies meeting your mother, I'd be glad to welcome her into my home.
Do you think Avery is right? Do you think I should take better care of you?
I don't blame you, but you abandoned me, son. A mother should not survive her children. It's unbearable to know you're not here anymore.
I wish I could stay here and take care of you. But I'm involved in some terrible things, and I don't want to put you in any danger.
You don't have to apologize to me, Johnny. Do you think I did not notice how much you have changed?
Have I changed that much, Mother? Am I still your son?
You are still, and you'll always be. Despite your pale skin, your bloody eyes, and that echoing sadness in your voice.
Why do you say Mary is visiting you, Mother? You know that's impossible.
Why should it be? Are you not standing in front of me right now? Why should it be any different with your sister?
But Mary really is dead, Mother.
Yes. And are you not dead too? Isn't your father dead? And my grandson? And my son-in-law? You're all gone. But you all still visit me from time to time.
But I'm not dead, Mother. I'm really here, talking to you, trying not to cry.
Oh, it breaks my heart to have to tell you this. But of course you're dead, my darling boy. Just look at you, as pale as my Mary.
Do you really see Mary and Father? Do you also see me as one of the dead?
Yes. For many years it was just a game. Since your father left us without a word, I took to the habit of speaking to him.
Yes, I remember. I sometimes spied on you and listened to you talking with Father in the garden. It made me so angry then. But it was just a game, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. But since then, my poor dead Mary visited me in my room. She led me to her grave, and there you were. I now know the dead can haunt us.
Should I leave you alone? Just ask, and I swear you'll never hear from me again.
Oh, no, Johnny. You're always welcome in this house. And one day, when I finally die, we'll all be together again, just as Mary promised us.
I'm so sorry. You did not deserve to endure this. Mary should never have done this to you.
That's true, my son. But you know what the worst part is? I liked it when Mary spoke in my head. Now she is silent, and it makes me so sad.
Do you need my medical attention, Mother?
I'm all right, son.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, son.
boys! Hey, leeches! Oh, Christ!
I'm sure Kaloon Russell has no interest in such a conventional menu. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Watch out, boys!
Have a killer!
Leaves, boys!
Good evening. I'm investigating this.
Infection is everywhere these days. But if you ever go to the park...
Yes? What about them?
Not enough noise for a big family with children. Not enough movement.
You need some... Why do you eat rats, Karina?
Their flesh contains the path to immortality. I have to eat them all if I want to live. Help me. Please. Make it stop.
I don't know if I can, miss. You have been tricked, forced to play a disgusting game. I don't know how to save you.
Kill me then, Doctor. Take my life. I beg you.
I can't do that, Miss Billow. I'm a doctor. I won't kill as an answer to pain or suffering. Never again.
It is my decision. If I could, I'd do it myself. You're a doctor, but also a vampire, aren't you? Kill me, please. Make it stop.
Can I help you, Miss Billow? I'm a doctor.
The rats!
I must go now. Goodbye, Miss Billow.
Welcome, Dr. Reed. I did not imagine I would meet you here. I knew your father. He was a good man.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed.
May I ask? You made with good
Godspeed.
We repelled the intruders for now. But how long before they return?
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. We'll talk later, Dr. Reed.
So here is the infamous Dr. Reed, the newborn econ of most intriguing lineage.
I witnessed the first great hunt. All my progeny was slaughtered by Priwen then.
I'm sure Kaloon Russell has no interest in such a conventional menu.
Crush the leech, boys! There's one of them vermin! A leech! A leech!
A restaurant where the guests are blindfolded before being seated. Intriguing.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. A great night, what?
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual?
Not really. Wait, now that you mention it, I don't see the McPhersons in my favorite restaurants. They love delicate meals too, you understand.
Thank you. It may be nothing, but I'll investigate anyway. Where do they live?
They have a house in the southern part of the district, somewhere north of the railway bridge. There is a courtyard, if I remember rightly.
I have found a restaurant that could satisfy you, Mr. Russell. The most intriguing and exotic restaurant in London.
Really? You have piqued my interest. Where is it?
It's a place where you eat in complete darkness and try to identify your meal without anything but your palate.
My, oh my, how interesting. It could even be fun to eat a little poisson et fruit that way. Oh, thank you, Dr. Reed. Please, have this for your research.
I may have a look. Hello? Is anyone there?
Jonathan, is that you? I did not know you were back in London. Oh, my dear Johnny, I'm so sorry for your loss. Mary was such a sweetheart.
Thank you, Venus. May I come in?
I was going to bed, actually.
I'm sure you can spare me a few minutes. For old time's sake.
Of course you may enter, Jonathan. Know that you are always welcome here. But at this hour of night...
It's locked, all right.
You know that you are always welcome here. But at this hour of night? I remember when Mary came here with her husband and her son. It was such a beautiful family.
It's a pleasure to see you again.
So you returned from the war in one piece,
How is the old rascal?
probably outside, chasing ghosts and chimeras.
How have you been since the last time we met? How long has it been? 3 years now?
I've done my duty, like all British women. You have no idea what it was like to wait for months without knowing if I'd still be a wife or a widow.
I understand. Luckily, this part of town has been saved from the worst of the bombings, from what I've seen.
Yes, and it's also true about the epidemic. The flu has killed here too, of course, but not on such a large scale as in other parts of town.
Have you noticed anything peculiar about the neighborhood recently?
You mean except for your return to town? No. Oh, and again, Jonathan, please accept my condolences for your sister.
Why is my return so surprising?
It's more an unexpected happy end than a surprise. You and Clarence, back from the war. You have no idea how hard it's been for me.
Thank you, Venus. It was so sudden. And I've been so busy, I haven't spoken to anyone about it.
I wish I could have assisted at the funeral, but you know, it's been so quick. And what with the epidemic in the streets?
There's no need to apologize, my dear. It's normal, considering the circumstances.
No, it's not. I am sure that Clarence has not even thought to present you his condolences. He is too busy with his penny dreadful stories.
Venus, why do you worry so much about your family's reputation?
Everyone laughs at Clarence now. And they avoid me because they believe I share his insane opinions. I'm a leper in my own community. I remember when Mary came here with her husband and her son.
Good evening. You need...
Between men and women.
They're all around you, waiting for you to take it.
Women die too in this war. Women's right to vote is only the first step. Women of all...
That building is under quarantine. Could this be what I'm looking for? I can't believe I'm doing this. I have this thirst for blood. I can't believe I'm doing this. I have this thirst for blood. Such a radical mutation. Could it be a new stage in the disease's evolution? So the husband had an affair with Doris Fletcher.
Women's right to vote is only the first step. Support the equality.
I must... Why are vampire hunters sniffing around here? I need to find out what they're after.
Shooting beast! Burning! I can't believe I'm doing this. I have this thirst for blood. This is despicable. I can't believe I'm doing this. This is despicable. This woman's body has multiple lacerations. They're deep, too. Whoever did this was driven by rage. He had his tongue removed and his eyes gouged out. He was a victim of brutal torture. This one's neck is broken. He was young. Probably the son.
Doris told me I could have been a great actress.
You killed your family.
They mocked my talent.
So, this girl took lessons at the famous Doris Fletcher acting school. Doris Fletcher seems to be the missing link here. It can't just be a coincidence. I should go to her acting school.
Women die too in this war. Women of all countries.
Oh,
You need some...
I have this thirst for blood. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Oh, Christ! Christ, he's dead! Ah! Murdering bastard! You London vampires are so weak! A leech! Oh shit, that leech!
It's locked, all right.
It's one of them!
Put an end to you!
There's an open window on the second floor. I should be able to get in through that.
It's locked.
Woe to you, nations of hypocrites. For in front of you stands the tall queen. You can but lower your head, fit only to smirk at her foil.
Can that be Doris Fletcher's voice? Where does it come from?
You can but lower your head, fit only to smirk at her soiled feet. Woe to you, nations of hypocrites. For in front of you stands the tall queen. You can but lower your head, fit only to smirk at her.
I cannot enter. Despicable.
Who are you? You who dared enter my realm. Are you here to worship or mock me?
I'm here to put an end to the vampire epidemic, Miss Fletcher.
Ah. But Doris Fletcher is no more. She was consumed by this putrid flesh that now enshrouds her.
You feel anger for what happened to you, but I can help you. I'm a doctor, Miss Fletcher.
Doris Fletcher is no more. All that remains are the dreams of the queen she was, and the queen she'll be. Until then, all shall die, for that was her final wish. My blade shall pierce your belly. Come to me! Wait. I beg you, wait.
What?
I don't want to die.
And I did not come to kill you, Miss Fletcher.
Will you spare me then? Save this cadaverous carcass of mine. Does your heart beat a little faster now? You fancy me then, Doctor?
No, Miss Fletcher. My dead heart will beat for only one.
Ah! Is she pretty? Is she sweet and tender?
To me, yes.
Ah! I hate her already.
I know. And this is partly why you must be destroyed.
But you just said
That I did not come here to kill you, yes. But I realize now the threat you embody must be stopped.
Will I be remembered? Will you?
You were Doris Fletcher, the greatest actress of her generation. No one can take that from you.
Thank you. And farewell. Ah! Ah! Ah!
Farewell, Doris.
Bravo! So dramatic. I love it.
McCullum!
How strange I seem to find you whenever I'm inquiring about that Skal infestation.
I mean you no harm.
I'm not here for you. But once I've put all the pieces of the puzzle together, I'm sure we'll have a little chat, you and me.
Stay away from me, McCullum. You and all your war dogs.
That I can't guarantee, Dr. Reed. But I'll let you go. For now.
I should probably leave the theater right now.
Remember your vows, friend.
It's locked. The West End should be safe now. But London is not. It would be wise to benefit from the Ascalon's protection. These people want me dead. I need to leave now. It's locked, all right. It's locked. So Doris just needed to be close. To her audience to infect them.
contagion through skin. Very disturbing.
Good evening, Doctor. Doctor! Do you need any med...
Yeah.
I have... Good. Good evening.
Good evening.
Is there anything else? Goodbye for now.
I never could keep anything from her.
How can I be sure I'll not find your unconscious body in the house again?
I promise you, you'll not find my unconscious body.
For God's sake, how can you say such a thing?
How can you refuse to listen? I tried to warn you for so long.
No, I won't let my only son die. You promised me you'll stay alive.
Your son lied to you, like the whole world lies to us.
Good evening, Miss Howard. Do you recall...
I can do... Thank you.
I need my medicine.
Good evening. Good... Do you need... I will see you... Goodbye.
Children, Helen. As for me...
Good evening, Doc.
Your son wished to die, Beatrice. Why did you hide such crucial information?
Are you not aware suicide is a crime? Mortimer could be thrown in jail. I can't let that happen. I won't.
I understand you fear the legal consequences, Mrs. Goswick. But don't you realize your silence significantly affects your son's case?
All my son needs is help and comprehension. Not judgment and punishment for what he may or may not have done.
I've read your son's medical report, Beatrice. It's not the flu or anything life-threatening. What has you so worried?
He was at death's door when he was brought here. I just want him to be better as soon as possible.
He's not out of the woods yet, you know. He might need to stay here longer than expected.
Take care of him then, Dr. Reed. People here only seem to focus on contagious patients. I worry my poor Mortimer will be neglected.
Goodbye. Good evening, Mr.
I'm okay.
Your medical report says you're not affected by the Spanish flu. What do you think of that, Mortimer?
Does it make me happy? Not in the slightest. If it was up to me, I would have left this place long ago. I know I don't belong here.
And why do you think you don't belong here?
I know the staff have more important things to do than look after me. There's plenty of patients here who need their attention.
Admit it, Mortimer. Your mother had you hospitalized here because you tried to kill yourself.
Yes, it's true.
All right, then. This is the first time we've really shared information about your case. Shall we call this progress?
Call it what you want, Dr. Reed.
You can trust me. I won't report you to the authorities. My one and only concern is your health.
I guess I should thank you then.
Can I help you in any way, Mr. Goswick?
I wrote a letter for my mother. She was supposed to read it after my death. But I suppose she doesn't have to read it now.
I see. And is this letter still near the place where you tried to take your own life?
Yes. And I don't want anyone reading my last words. I mean, I'm still here. If you bring me back that letter, then perhaps we'll talk.
Do you need any...
Thank you.
I have to...
I'm all right. Waste your time with... me.
You always knew the words to calm the children. As for me, what a blundering idiot.
The pain. It's here again.
It's locked. It's locked, all right. It's locked.
flower's dying. It needs water.
What news, Jonathan? I've heard you've now joined the vampire elite of London.
Did Elizabeth tell you?
So it's Elizabeth now. My. Things are moving quickly. I turn my back for a moment and away you go.
Have you seen Lady Ashbury recently?
Yes, she popped in yesterday. Told me about your new friends in the West End.
Just a courtesy visit, then?
Yes. And no. She was en route to the docks, I think, following a lead concerning your maker.
I may have found the source of the contagion. Doris Fletcher, the actress. Thankfully, in the end, she was destroyed by fire.
Really? Oh, please, do tell me more.
Doris was a heavily mutated skull. Almost a new breed entirely. It's as if the disease had completely altered her mind and body. Highly contagious.
As if the disease had taken control of her will?
Yes. Once a beautiful and brilliant woman, she became motivated by hate alone.
Oh, she was a beauty. I met her when she visited the hospital to cheer up the sick. Too bad the fire destroyed her. But it was probably for the best.
Have you heard of similar cases?
No, I don't think so. Except, perhaps, it reminds me of an old report from the Brotherhood. Well, more an article, really.
What was it about?
The author, a friar, referred to a rare form of contagion in a skull he observed during the Black Death. The carrier was always female. They called them icors.
How's the situation at the Pembroke?
We're still holding out. Question is, for how long? What we really need is hope, Jonathan. Hope for a better tomorrow.
I'll come back later.
Always a pleasure to...
Good evening. And do you need... There's... Goodbye. It's locked, all right. It's locked.
weapons ready! Hide for this!
In this letter, Mortimer Goswick does nothing to hide his desire to die. I could give it to his mother, but doing so would betray his trust. It's locked, all right.
Will this shift never end? I will not let you down, my boy.
Good evening, Mr. I have retrieved your letter, Mr. Goswick. I can assure you that nobody read it but me.
Thank you. This is for you, then. For your help. And for your silence.
I think you should talk to your mother. It would be good for both of you.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. I'll think about it. Now please, let me be.
I've read your letter, Mortimer. You wrote about an unbearable feeling of despair while the world crumbles around you. Tell me more about it.
There's nothing more to say, really. It's hurtful, it's unbearable, and I don't ask anyone to understand what I feel.
Despair is a deadly poison I've tasted myself, sir. We're only tempted to drink it because we're terrified by the uncertainty of the next minute.
I know that perfectly, Doctor. For I waited for so long, hoping that the next minute would be less unbearable.
I have to go now, sir.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening.
Doctor...
Goodbye, Doctor.
But we have some of the most brilliant minds in London at Pembroke. Sorry that these sad and faded walls are all I have to offer.
Damn it! Why is this so difficult every time?
That is better. That is better. I will make it through one more night.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good...
I know you're taking drugs, Corcoran. Why take such a risk?
I need it to endure the long shifts. We have no idea how long the epidemic will last. We can't let it win.
I understand the gesture, Doctor. An immediate answer to an emergency situation, but this can't be a long-term solution.
Thank you for your understanding, my dear colleague. And be assured, I have total control of my consumption.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett. Hello again, Mr.
Good evening.
Are you...
Of course I am.
What can't...
I believe...
Goodbye, Mr.
Sometimes you act like a real jerk, you know that?
Come on, Ozzy, don't be like that.
What, like what? Like someone who felt betrayed by the man he loves? Did you ever even try to find me? Rescue me?
You know, it's not like that. I wanted to. I was so afraid to leave the hospital, not to be seen with you.
We survived this shit together. That's all that matters. I know you did your best. Fuck the wall, right? And fuck them all.
Fuck the wall. Fuck them all.
Can't understand why you still care for me.
It's locked, all right.
For God's sake. I'm still alive and healthy. Can't you be satisfied with that?
We have no reason to be here. I have not survived being buried in a mass grave for these trivialities.
We are not in the middle of a battlefield anymore. Things are different here. In so many ways.
Good evening. Are you...
No.
Tell me about your true feelings for Newton.
I love him. I'm not ashamed to say it. He's the best thing that ever happened to me. I can't imagine life without him.
Why should you be ashamed?
I'm not, I said. But Newton sees it differently.
I admire your honesty. It It takes courage to stand up to society. The world needs people like you to create change.
Courage is what we needed in the trenches, looking death in the face every day. I speak plain. I speak my mind.
Have you always been this straightforward?
All I know is, before you saved me by the sewer, my only regret was I wouldn't be able to hold or kiss Newton again. I love him, that's all. Newton, don't be sorry. We'll meet again soon, and we will be serene and beautiful.
Untie the lamp.
Hello again, Mr.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. You doing your rounds as usual?
How do you feel about Oswald Thatcher? You are more than friends, aren't you?
I love him. I love Oswald. We knew we wouldn't survive the war without each other. But I am terrified, Doctor.
What frightens you so much?
What if people find out? Oswald says I'm ashamed, but it ain't that. It's more, well, you know, I never thought I'd love a man.
I won't say a word, Mr. Blight. Your secret is safe with me.
I fought for my country and I survived. I saw my comrades die. And now society tells me I'm a criminal for who I love. It makes me so angry.
You and Oswald were buried alive during the war. Tell me about it.
Yeah. It was last summer. A shell hit our trench and we were buried for a week.
Oswald seemed far more traumatized than you by the event.
It wasn't the first time it happened to me. And surviving it again gave me strength. You believe that?
How did you survive for a week?
Luckily for us, there were rations and water in the tunnel. It was an outpost, see? Since then, Oswald's not keen on being inside for too long.
Goodbye. Hello again.
Good evening. Oswald, I'm sorry to leave you alone. Avenge me, my love.
Good evening.
And
Goodbye, Charlotte.
she's been...
Always a pleasure to see you, sir.
Elizabeth, what are you doing here?
I've been formally asked to witness your triumph, my dear. After all, isn't it the natural role of a woman to support her man in victory?
But it's you who insisted I join the Ascalon.
Please forgive my giddiness. I'm just overcome by the thrill of finally being allowed within these hallowed halls.
You certainly have an inquisitive mind. It's quite something. Elizabeth Ashbury, only you can make me smile in these difficult times.
And the same to you, Jonathan Reed. Now go have your little chat with the chairman. I can see he's practically bursting to hear your report. We'll talk...
Lord Redgrave can play with the brave all he wants, but I won't.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Have a drink and enjoy this night, for it could be our last. I think we're safe for now. I pursued and killed the last hunter with my own hands as he tried to escape the club. I personally went patrolling last night in the West End, and I spotted at least 2...
Welcome back to the Ascalon Club, Lance-Bearer. Please, tell us the good news. Have you put an end to the epidemic?
My hypothesis was correct. Doris Fletcher was the source of the contagion in this part of town. She was probably the first to be infected.
And you cleansed her before the hunters, I've been told. Well done, Dr. Reed. You thrust your lance and pierced the very heart of the corruption.
But some questions remain.
The important thing is, we won a major battle for the survival of London. For that, we salute you.
Thank you, my lord.
Now, I have another task for you. One of the utmost importance. Perhaps even more so than the previous.
I'm listening.
It's time for you to perform a most sacred duty for the club. I want you to recruit a new vampire.
Recruit a new vampire? Are you sending me on some sort of diplomatic mission?
Not exactly. I want you to make Aloysius Dawson the Ekon he deserves to be.
I'm sorry, but I can't.
Are you questioning my orders?
No. It's just... I'm not sure I'm ready to have another progeny after what happened with my sister.
The rebirth of Aloysius Dawson is a necessary step in our campaign to ensure the safety of London.
How would you like me to proceed?
Aloysius is waiting for you at the Dawson estate. Once the deed is done, I'll join you there to celebrate this momentous occasion.
Before I go, I have a few questions.
All right, I'm listening.
Why Aloysius Dawson?
Because he is about to die. And he just may be the most influential man in England. After me, of course.
Did he choose me?
No, I did. My decision is very recent, to say the least, but it is entirely mine.
Does he know I'm coming?
He can't wait to become your progeny, Dr. Reed. Especially now that you have shown how strong your lineage is through your sister.
How would you like me to proceed?
Don't worry. Aloysius has had many years to prepare himself. He has studied our kind for decades.
So shall I just let him drink my blood?
Yes. Aloysius will gratefully sup on your blood. His heart will slow, then stop. But he will rise again as one of us, an immortal.
Is there any danger?
Our blood alters a mortal body so deeply that some don't survive the metamorphosis. They die for good. But Mr. Dawson has been preparing himself for a long time.
You invited Lady Ashbury. Wouldn't that be breaking one of your cardinal rules? No women allowed.
Not allowed as members, no. But considering the circumstances, I thought you'd like to have her here to witness your triumph.
So it's a temporary admittance, then?
Something of a bargain, considering the crisis we're currently facing.
Goodbye, Lord.
Are you all right, Jonathan?
Lord Redgrave has just ordered me to turn Aloysius Dawson, to make him my progeny.
I see. And how do you feel about this?
I won't do it. The very thought of it makes me sick.
The real question here is, why has his lordship given you this task?
Do you think it's some sort of trap?
Do you really want to know what I think about this?
I do, yes.
To make an immortal of a soulless blackguard like Aloysius Dawson will only lead to a disaster for London. The man is already dead inside.
Should I refuse? Perhaps politely suggest that Lord Redgrave turn the man into a vampire himself.
Don't you dare, my dear. According to what I've recently discovered, his lordship could kill you for even broaching the subject.
Really? Why?
I've recently found proof that the Earl of Bristol is of lesser lineage and only capable of creating skulls.
Please tell me more about your recent investigation.
As long as you lower your voice.
Are you sure your information about Redgrave is correct? He says he's the progeny of the great knight William Marshall, who lived some 9 centuries ago.
That's a lie. Lord Redgrave is unable to create anything but skulls, if the poor souls survive at all.
How can you be sure the information was correct?
I made the acquaintance of a most interesting informer while investigating your maker, from whom I learned the truth about Lord Redgrave.
Why so vindictive? You suddenly sound like you're angry.
Forgive me, Jonathan. I hate myself for it, but I feel such pride in my discovery. I'm afraid I just can't help it.
Which is?
He did serve William Marshall. And yes, the blood he covets as a token does truly belong to that legendary knight. But he was never his progeny. His lineage is not so noble.
What would you have me do about Dawson?
The man is dangerous. Did you know he plans to build a wall to separate the healthy rich from the sickly poor? Do not make him your progeny.
What would you do?
The man's dying already. Let the reaper harvest the rotten fruit that is his soul.
What would happen if I made Dawson an Ekon like myself?
You would add a powerful immortal into a suffering world. An immortal who already craves authority.
Maybe I could teach him control, like you taught me. Lead him down the right path.
Mr. Dawson spent his life searching for a way to cheat death. I'm sure he has spent decades dreaming of how he'd spend eternity as a tyrant.
Goodbye for now, Elizabeth.
Goodbye, my dear. Please, be careful.
For as long as I've been a member, I've never seen so few vampire...
It looks like vampires have to obey Mendel's laws when producing progeny. Powers pass from one generation to another. That's why Dawson wants me to sire.
Die too in this war.
Good evening.
And good.
What do you know about Aloysius Dawson?
That man is a tyrant, the embodiment of greed and selfishness. All I despise about this country.
Goodbye.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.
Do you know anything about a man called Aloysius Dawson?
He used to be a big spender. One day, he sent 3 houseboys to buy all the beluga in my shop. For his brother's birthday, if I remember correctly.
I see. Anything else? Less gastronomic, perhaps?
I really can't say. The man is filthy rich. But you know that, of course.
I may...
It's locked.
I need to find information about Aloysius Dawson. What can you tell me about him?
Don't trust him. He's looking for the same thing I was. Rats? No, not rats. Something else. I don't remember.
I must... Hello, Venus.
Hello. I remember when Mary came here with her husband and... What did...
What can you tell me about...
I never met the man. I know Clarence tried to contact him recently, but I don't know why. I'm so sorry for your loss, Jonathan. You know that you are always welcome here, but at this hour of night?
No invitation is needed to enter this building. Emily wanted to... No sign of a struggle. It seems Charlotte's friend knew the killer and let him in. Blood. I should follow the trail.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I could ask you the same question.
I'm the Marquis de Bois-Colombes, and I strongly invite you to find your own game, sir.
I intend to do so very soon, thank you. But for the moment, I'd like to shed light on the death of a young woman killed by a vampire.
A young woman killed by a vampire? Oh, you're joking, right? Oh, I do love the British sense of humor.
And who exactly are you?
I am Jacques-Michel Guillaume Florimond de Marquis de Bois-Colombes, at your service, my dear cousin.
Dear cousin? Are we related?
We could be of the same blood, my dear. I tend to consider all Econs as family, don't you?
You're French, but your English is quite good.
I was born in France, sir, but I consider myself a traveler of this world. So many countries, so many tantalizing tastes.
What are you doing here?
I recently decided to visit London. I've always dreamed of visiting a city on the verge of collapse. Such a delicate yet intense spectacle.
You take pleasure from others' misery.
I have been a totally depraved and immoral creature since the day I was reborn, sir. And probably before.
What do you plan to do here?
Take pleasure. Take pictures. Enjoy the show. Have fun. Believe me, I won't be the only foreign immortal who bought a ticket to the fair.
I followed the trail of blood from her room to here.
Oh, you're referring to that young woman. Yes, the meeting turned messy. I'm afraid I ruined my last redingote.
So you admit you murdered her?
I admit nothing, my good sir. I only regret the blood of that girl staining my clothes. Oh, blood can be so messy.
What happened?
She wanted to become one of us. Not the first time I have received such a proposal, but I must admit her direct approach tempted me.
And then what?
The body rejected my blood. It happens, you know, sometimes even with voluntary prey. At least her gurglings brought me some fun, until the artery burst.
I believe you, sir. Emily's diary confirms your statement.
Oh, Emily was her name. Quite charming. Well, mystery solved then.
Yes, I suppose so. You can go.
And so can you. Farewell, sir. May you enjoy the spectacle of this fallen city as much as I do.
Good evening. When did you escape the...
You know...
What can you tell me about a look?
Well, I've discovered he's quite versed in occult knowledge. So I wrote him a letter asking him to finance my research about vampires. He never responded.
You need... Good evening, Miss...
And good evening.
I have found out what happened to your friend, Emily.
I can handle the truth. There's no need to hide the bloody details.
Your friend was planning to become a vampire. She thought she'd met an honest one and made a deal with him. Unfortunately, Emily did not survive the process.
My mother told me many times about the risks of being turned. I often suspected she exaggerated the danger to avoid me being tempted.
No, the risk is real. Have you any idea what a body has to endure? To become an organism entirely consumed by its need to process and recombine blood?
I should never have talked to Emily about vampires. I never thought she'd actually try it without me. Thank you, sir. Here, take this for your discretion.
Goodbye.
She's been quite busy these last few nights.
Remember, don't let any strangers come into your house. Have you noticed anything suspicious?
It's locked. I should find another way to get into the neighborhood. I think this passage could lead me close to Aloysius Dawson's mansion.
Stupid newborn! You cannot win this!
I have this thirst for blood. I cannot enter.
I will crush you!
Louise's father was determined to find and save her. It's locked, all right. It's locked. This is despicable.
How long are you gonna keep dodging? Let me go, you bastard!
Miss Teasdale, are you all right?
How do you know my name? Who are you?
My name is Dr. Reed. I managed to track...
So my father really was looking after me. This man, This...
I'm afraid so, miss.
I suppose my jailer also killed my father.
Thankfully, he did not search your father's corpse, where I found...
I must find my father's body. He deserves a proper burial.
Goodbye, miss. You should...
Thank you.
Goodbye, miss.
What has happened to the London that I knew? Good evening, sir. May I ask you what you're doing?
I'm conducting an investigation.
And who are you, sir?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, from the Pembroke Hospital.
I'm Detective Inspector Charles Albright from Scotland Yard. And I don't find your answers convincing. What is a Pembroke doctor doing in the West End at this time of night?
I work for the Ascalon Club. Here is my permit to go freely about the city.
The Ascalon Club? You should have said so, sir. I must warn you, these streets are dangerous, and you'd better be careful.
What can you tell me about this district?
I'm the one asking questions, especially when there's a killer on the loose.
What killer?
I'm not going to discuss that with the civilians, sir.
Haven't I told you about the investigation I'm conducting? Perhaps I could help you.
All right, without giving you too much information, I'll tell you this. I'm convinced there is a homicidal maniac on the loose, using the epidemic to disguise his kills.
And what about the...
We both know the situation is critical.
What are you really doing?
I told you. I'm a detective.
Do you work alone?
Yes. The situation is difficult for the police. Many of us are sick, and since the summer strike, most men apply work to rule.
What about the situation in the East End? Why are there no police there to protect the...
I know, it's a shame, but we just don't have enough men to...
Why are you investigating?
Criminals rarely act in daylight, you know. But since you are also a night worker, have you noticed anything strange, which requires police attention?
Does the name Fergal ring a bell? Fergal Bancher?
Of course it does. Fergal Bancher, the Butcher of Galway. Hung in Dublin in 1857 for murdering more than 20 men with his bare hands. Why are you so interested in dead criminals, sir?
Why are you...
Criminals rarely act in daylight, you know.
Does the...
Of course.
What...
I tell...
Tell me all you know about that homicidal maniac.
I'm not even sure there is only one. The wounds are always the same.
How could different killers inflict the same wounds?
That's my main problem. If my theory is correct, maybe we're facing a group of individuals sharing the same violent tendencies.
What are you in...
I currently have a few missing persons cases. Mr. Tadao Kamura.
Tell me about Louise Teasdale.
She's a waitress. Her father reported her missing. We don't have enough men to search for her, sadly.
Do you have any idea where she could be?
No. But I feel she's been abducted. She went to a pub a few nights ago and vanished.
Tell me about
Mr. Kimura is a businessman who has been missing for a few days. He didn't go home, didn't go to work.
Where was he last seen?
Mr. Kimura was last seen at the Royal Observatory in Greenwich. I followed a possible lead in the West End.
Do you know anything in particular?
Who doesn't know the man? I think he intervened personally to put an end to the police strike of last August.
What else can you tell me about him?
Aloysius Dawson is exactly the kind of powerful and influential man who could commit murder and get away with it. With just one phone call.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Good evening, Miss Price. I'm Dr. Reed. Do you remember me?
Dr. Reed? Yes, of course. You are the doctor.
Good to see you too, Carol.
Oh, yes. I did not hurt.
Why are you...
I am helping my mother in her shop.
I'm sure...
I do the best I can. But I'm...
Why is work not easy? Is something or...
Oh no, most people are gentle with me. But I'm...
What can you tell me?
I don't speak to many people, except our customers. It's not easy to make friends.
What can you tell me about...
Some of our regular customers have left London.
Have you no friends at all?
No. Mr. Nithercote used to pass by and was always nice.
Does he not come by anymore?
No. Mum said he was weird. Always reciting poetry about a girl he'd met in Whitechapel. I wonder who this camellia may be.
Do you enjoy working with your...
Oh yes, Doctor. My mother raised me alone after my father died.
Do you remember?
No, I was just a baby then. My mother always told me how strong and good he was.
Do you ever think about getting married?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. Mum always says I'm still a child who has no idea how tough life can be. No husband would like a clumsy girl.
Have you ever...
Yes. A very strange...
What do you mean?
He said he was ready to pay good money for rare books, and then laughed at what we showed him.
Goodbye.
I am sorry, I can't help you, sir. Perhaps you should talk with someone else longer this time.
Good evening, Miss Price. How are you today?
Dr. Reed, I didn't know you had returned from the war.
Always glad to see...
Too long indeed. And as a token of my appreciation, I'll grant you the best price if you fancy buying anything from...
What can you tell me about yourself?
I'm still managing my shop. The only difference is, since the quarantine, we're open at night. You...
Tell me more about...
Who would marry an old bat like myself with a grown daughter and a little business? As you know, I only fancy handsome men like yourself.
Really? Have I changed that much?
Don't get me wrong, Dr. Reed, you're still handsome. Just maybe a little bit wiser, more serious.
Have you noticed...
Other than you coming back to cheer me up? Nothing at all, Dr. Reed.
Carol's gratitude is exemplary.
I'm taking care of my daughter as well as I can. It's not always easy, but she's the best gift.
But she'll probably leave you someday to live her own life.
Why would she leave? Children sometimes stay with their...
Does your daughter still worry you, Miss Price? I remember...
Have you not seen Carol since you returned? She's all...
So you're less afraid?
Some things never change. Carol is still too clumsy for her...
You have every reason to be cautious, Miss Price.
Maybe you could talk with her, Dr. Reed. It would be nice to have.
Why would her innocence...
She does not realize how cruel life can be. Maybe I was a bad mother to protect her too much. My poor dear Carol.
Do you know Aloysius Dawson?
Everybody knows him. He's only been to my shop once, though, looking for rare books and other intriguing antiques.
Did he buy something from you?
No, he left quickly. He almost laughed at my goods. Mr. Dawson may be a rich man, but you can't buy good manners.
But isn't Aloysius Dawson known for his philanthropy?
That was before his brother Robert died in an aeroplane crash.
May I...
It's always a... I hope you can stay a little longer this time.
Good evening, sir. I am Dr...
Yes, please. Would you be kind...
That's all you need to know. Well, I suppose you're right.
I am Agamemnon Baker. Like my brother...
May I ask?
I don't know. You should ask my brother instead.
You must have your own ideas.
From what I have managed to understand, I guess we're supposed to wait here. Waiting for someone to come.
What can you...
It's the only place I've considered myself happy. Or at least that's what I believe. Unfortunately...
Why is that?
Because I'm not feeling happy here anymore. Are you?
What kind of question is that? What am I supposed to answer, exactly?
The truth. And I believe you just did it, actually.
May I ask?
I believe fear is holding us back. My brother would have said it's laziness. But it's just because...
What can you tell me about your brother?
He's older than me, I think. But the important thing is that I really hope I'll...
Is that all?
Pericles is very attached to this city, and without my insistence, he would never leave this place. We don't often agree on anything.
What can you...
You should ask that question to my brother instead. The more I think about it, the more I believe it's not exactly a person.
But what else could it be, then?
I don't know. A feeling? An event?
I'm afraid I'm not following you.
Have you ever felt like life trapped you in a role that does not fit you? That you're not in your place? That's...
Trap?
At least it will give us the chance to be free. That's more than...
Do you need my
I would appreciate...
Good... Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I be of assistance?
Dr. Reed? Dr. Reed?
Is there anything...
No, it's just... Your name sounds familiar. And your face.
I think I would remember.
That's odd. I'm certain I've already heard of you.
I'm afraid not, sir. But it's a pleasure.
The pleasure is mine, I get...
Tell me...
We are waiting.
And why are you waiting for this person?
Because we need to leave this city. As soon...
Why do you want to leave the city?
I'm not really...
Can you tell me?
As you like asking questions so much.
Please, be my guest.
Do you like this city?
I don't know. I was born and raised in London, but I feel like a stranger here recently.
You didn't answer my question, sir. But I don't blame you. Perhaps it's better that...
And what...
I stopped working when I decided to leave.
But what...
Does it really matter anymore? Considering the past seems so...
Tell me more about why.
I just... don't belong here anymore. I had to convince my brother to leave London because I know we need to find another life out of the city.
Pericles, tell me...
Agamemnon is naive sometimes. Although don't...
At least you both have the same difficulty explaining what you're doing, and for what reason.
But is that not a common problem for all mortals?
What can you tell me about your brother?
If you are searching for a pleasant chat, you should speak with him instead of wasting your time with me. He's always been the more gentle of us.
That's it? That's all you can tell me about him?
For the time being, true kindness is the most valuable quality, my good sir.
What can you tell me about?
I've heard this is a man who has searched for his place in the world for a long time.
Who are you waiting for? I'm sure he has a...
I really can't answer that question, since I don't know that person.
And why is that?
This person is mostly my brother's acquaintance. I don't even know his real name. Only that this man could help us leave this city once and for all.
But why would you need this person's help to leave London anyway?
Well, I thought we should have left this cursed place already, but my brother convinced me to stay a while longer, and here we are.
What can you... Goodbye, Mr.
Hello.
Goodbye for now, Mr.
Be careful, Carol. You're wasting good food here.
Yes, Mother.
I said be careful, child. I'm sorry, sweetheart. Mummy has been so clumsy again.
No, that's okay. It won't bleed for long.
You're so pale. Are you feeling sick? Do you need to see a doctor?
No, I'm fine. I already saw the doctor last week.
Don't be silly. You must see a doctor. Just don't tell him how clumsy your mummy is, all right? I love you so much, my baby.
I love you too, Mother.
It's locked, all right.
Dr. Reed, I am glad.
Good evening.
You know...
Tell me, Carolyn, do you often whoop?
No.
You really believe it's just bad luck?
Of course, Doctor. What else could...
You are responsible for your daughter's many injuries and scars.
How could I abuse my own flesh and blood? This is nonsense. It would be...
You really believe you've done nothing wrong, don't you?
Seen what? Child abuse? Are you mad?
Yes. Even her name is just a part of yours. This is a terrible tragedy. Something of an unknown disorder. My God.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. How dare you say something like that? What kind of a monster...
Speak to me, Carolyn. Why do you behave like this?
I don't know.
Do you realize Carol is a person?
Carol and I are perfectly happy.
You're a threat to Carol. And no child should...
No, Dr. Reed. You are the threat.
May I look at...
It's always a pleasure.
I am sorry, I can't help you, sir.
I hope you can stay a little longer.
Good evening.
My mother...
Is it true you often hurt yourself, Carol?
Yes, it's true. I try to behave, I really do.
Why would you be stupid?
It's like I can't help getting under my mother's feet.
When exactly do these accidents happen?
Ever since I was little. That's why I need to stay with Mum.
You need to understand you are in danger, Carol.
That's a lie. She has always taken good care of...
Yes, Carol. Your mother believes she loves you as...
What are you saying? That she lied to me all these years?
You have always been in danger, Carol. And I'm a...
No. My mum loves me and only wants the best for me.
Goodbye.
I am sorry, I can't help you, sir.
Good evening.
You know...
Perhaps you should talk with someone else.
Goodbye.
I cannot enter.
What are the cards trying to tell us? Jonathan Reed. At last we meet. The card...
I beg your pardon, sir.
Of course you do. Our mutual friend...
You are the leader of the Brotherhood.
Primate of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stone.
The cards told you to expect me.
Yes, they can tell me everything.
What can you tell me?
I really don't know. I don't often go outside.
So you see nothing in the stars for me? You're a poor fortune teller, then?
Oh, I can tell you many things, but they will only concern you.
Do the cards speak of my men?
No. It's the burning
Read my foot.
You have been chosen, Jonathan. I see on you the mark of a strong being, so powerful it needn't even reveal its strength.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm for most a charlatan. For a few, I'm a vampire. And for you, I'm the primate of St.
Somebody...
Guard of Priwen, who else?
Did they steal anything from you?
A personal notebook they quickly took to their headquarters. All they had to do is to look at me. I'm aging. What better and definite proof that I'm not...
Do you want your notebook back?
If you ever find it, I'd be glad to have it back, of course. I do ask one thing, though. Do not read it, Jonathan. Some secrets are not meant to be revealed, even to immortals.
For how long?
It was 15 years.
What do you make of Dr. Swan?
Edgar is a brilliant and dedicated man. A man of his time. Sometimes a little muddled, but always...
Can you read?
Are you sure you want to know?
Yes, I am.
It will cost you 150 shillings.
Perhaps later. Is there anything you could tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
Aloysius Dawson. Yes, of course. We met on several occasions. With time, he got deeper and deeper into the occult.
He's not the only one. It's been quite the fashion for several decades. The Golden Dawn, for instance, is just one example.
True. Aloysius was a member of the Golden Dawn until 1900.
How do you measure the amount?
I told you. The cards...
Is it possible to tell me?
A vampire's fate is much more delicate.
I would rather not know. How did you learn about Mary? And spare me the hocus-pocus parlor tricks.
Swansea told me. Don't look at me like that. His task is to observe and gather information about vampires. He had to tell...
Mary did not deserve her fate.
Suffering is part of the immortal condition.
May I ask?
Of course. But I must warn you that there are some subjects we consider taboo, in spite of our fondness and acceptance of your kind.
Who founded the Brotherhood?
That's precisely the kind of question I cannot answer. It is delicate, and may reveal some of our secret traditions.
So you're not just a club of academics and scholars?
Once upon a time, very long ago, the Brotherhood did more than simply study the vampires. They took actions to eliminate the more ferocious and corrupted.
I know there is no love lost between the Guard of Priwen and the Brotherhood. What caused this rift?
It was 1801. The Brotherhood was stronger then, a strength that made them hungry for ever greater power. An argument divided them, and the wound never healed.
What was the nature of the...
The problem was that both sides considered themselves the legitimate heirs of the original Brotherhood. We divide up the books, the relics, not always fairly or with consideration.
Goodbye.
I rarely wander. Yet it's amusing. Perhaps London will survive the epidemic. But I see
it's locked, all right.
Trials awaiting in the future. The Red River, a song in the dark.